Hi. I've been thinking about the isolation and sense of disconnection that so many of us are feeling in this unprecedented time. Obviously, we're living with a lot of isolation. And so it's got me thinking a lot about the body of Christ, our connectedness. I've been thinking about the cross and even the vertical and horizontal dimensions of the cross connecting us both with God and with one another. And in light of this, I'd like to talk for a few sessions briefly on the Lord's Supper, Holy Communion, the Eucharist, different terms for the same thing. Because I believe that they're absolutely central to our Christian faith. I believe that they point directly to the mystery of Christ. And I think that gradually, for many of us in our traditions, we have somewhat pulled back from that very intimate mystery of communion. And it's become just something we do. In some of our traditions, it's weekly, others it's monthly, some it's quarterly. But I'd like us to take a fresh look at just the depths of Christ that we discover in the Eucharist. I want to just read to you from Luke 22, a well-known passage. Jesus took the bread and gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to them, and said, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he also took the cup after supper and said, "This cup is the new covenant established by my blood. It is shed for you." Now, there are many different interpretations or understandings of what takes place at the Eucharist, Holy Communion. They come down to two main perspectives. On the one end, we have that of the Catholics, the Eastern Orthodox, the Anglicans, and the Lutherans to a significant extent, which focus on "this is my body." And they insist that Christ is physically present and his body is in the bread, his blood is in the wine. On the other end, we have the Reformed tradition, the evangelical, Pentecostal, which focuses on the "do this in remembrance of me." And so they do it reverently, but they do it without a sense of mystery, without that sense of Christ's presence in the elements, but they do it to remember yet again what Christ did on the cross. For me, I think where I'm at is best expressed in the Anglican view, and I took this right from their website. The bread and the wine are his body and blood in a spiritual manner, and then to qualify that, although the meal is heavenly or spiritual, it is nonetheless a true partaking of the body and blood of Christ. The believer is to approach the table in this faith, that Christ is giving himself to his people through this bread and wine. However we look at it, there is a great mystery, a great connectedness, back to what I began with. And so, over the next few short sessions, I'm going to look at how the bread and the wine relate to the incarnation. John 1:14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So I'm hoping you'll join me for that.